Hi, my name is Nicole Henry, and on my channel, this channel, we'll talk about our minds, um, the different centers of our minds, the functions of our mind, the mind itself, and many other spiritual things that I found in my search along my journey that I would like to bring and share those discoveries with you, and also personal experiences. In the last video, I talked about the 12 minds, the 12 centers, disciples, disciplines, whatever you call them. We go over them from 1 to 12. Kind of give a little brief description of what they are. But I would like to eventually, in a couple other videos, just go in depth on each of them so you can get a full understanding of how vital and important they are for you to bring them into focus and discipline in your life. Well, in the first video that I mentioned about these minds, I said in my second video, which is this one, that I was going to tell you about the colors of those centers of the mind. And here's the video. Well, the first one is January, faith, and the color of January faith is navy blue. Yeah, that's what it is. Navy blue is the color of faith. The second one, which is February, love. The color of love is pink. Yeah, pink. Not red like some people think, on Valentine's Day they see mostly red colors, but that's just earthly. In the spiritual realm, it's pink for love. The third one is March, strength, and the color of strength is green. Kind of like what they call the dollar bill, the greenback. Because not only is that month a symbol of your financial, your spiritual strength, but also the financial aspect of ourselves as well. It's a balance. So in March, the color is green. And if you look around us too, even in the world, in the creation of our Father, you'll see that green dominates in color, and it's vibrant, and it's for food and all these other major things that it gives to this planet. Green, strength, March. The fourth one, which is April, wisdom, yellow. Yellow like the sun. Yeah. Wisdom is yellow. Okay? And May, which is power. Power is purple. Kind of like a royal bluish, but it's purple. I like to say royal blue, but spiritual color is purple. And for June, imagination, that color is light blue, like the sky, the light blue, baby blue. And sometimes I think, guys, just a little interception on my personal thoughts. I think even though those colors that I mentioned before as it relates to our spiritual centers, that it's probably like from all the color variation within that color. Like, for example, navy blue will be all the shades of blue, I'm thinking. And also pink and so forth. Because it's never ending, ever expanding kind of abilities that we have within our minds, right? And nevertheless, let me move on. Number 7 is July, which is understanding, and the color is gold. The color is gold. Yes. For August, which is willpower, the color is gray. And for September, order, law and order, it's hunter green. March is a green, but it's like for a lighter color green, but this one for order, law and order, it's hunter green. And for October, which is zeal, enthusiasm, passion, along that line, it's orange color. And for November, which is elimination, It's a rustic color, kind of like a burnt orange look. And for December, which is life, it's red. Yeah, life is red, not love. But love is life too, eh? But those are the colors, as I promised, guys. So in the next video, what I want to tell you about is why I want to talk more about each of those centers, like, you know, talk about them one by one in their own videos, because it's so much to learn. And the first thing that I really wanted to kind of start this series with is just an idea, an overall view of who the mind is. It's not what the mind is. We've learned so much about the mind and its function and what it can do and all of that, but it's who the mind is. And I think we need to really kind of move past that that limited belief that we have, and just kind of transcend ourselves into this other side of ourselves that we seem to be neglecting. Because if you really get to know it, you would realize you would want it so bad in this world, because it's really true peace. It's creativity at its best. It's just everything that mankind is looking for, and what mankind really don't even understand, maybe not even as yet, is that we all looking for the same thing. And that one thing is how did our Father, the Creator God, who made us all, who made us, meeting Him, you know? We all looking for Him. You know, some in different places, but I found Him in myself. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. The 12 colors of our minds. And I want to talk about them individually. So come back to my channel and let's learn about faith and why he became number one, right? No, you know what? The next video, I want to talk about the mind and who the mind is. I think we need to get that out the way first. Okay? Let's talk about the mind. Who he is, not what he is, because we already got tons of information on that. But let's talk about who the mind is. And so you can see, I think it kind of draw you closer to what you're seeking, and rather than it being something outside of yourself. You know, it kind of give you, when I talk about it, I think it will make you understand that it was all that you were always looking for. Like, you begin to really look at things differently. You know what I'm saying? I've been studying this thing forever. I had my first experience when I was 12 years old. 12 years old in Jamaica, in a country with my grandparents that I live with and cousins. And I had a bad toothache because I'm a fruit girl. I love fruits. As a matter of fact, I even started a business doing fruits because I grew up on a fruit farmland, kind of like every fruit's around my house. I was in heaven, I think. But yeah, 12 years old, I met him. He healed me. And I'm not saying that my life hasn't been rough and hard, guys. I had some serious times in my life, but God have always been there. He never left me. Never, ever left me. Even though I've done things, you know, but we all are forgiven. And that was so beautiful about when you get to know the Father, you'll see that you are truly forgiven. And then it really, you have no choice but to give those who have wronged you. Because the greatest sin is the one against him, which is eternal. And if you want back in, then you have to forgive and let go. And it's something that I think we all need to be learning how to do. You know, take little things at a time. You know, that stuff that bothers you, just kind of get to see it for what it really is, and what is it trying to tell you. Because just like the Father, he's everything that he does has a purpose. So, and when I get to show you guys, share with you guys, yeah, guys have probably noticed already. Most of us are so distracted with the world and its demands that we lose this side of ourselves, you know, because we give so much attention to the world and what it needs, and just starving our eternal being, our eternal self, the very self that we're going to need after we leave here. And a lot of people don't even spend time with themselves to find out this other part of themselves that is so much greater and better and wiser and can bring everything that they're desiring to them, healing and all these different things. Guys, I'm getting to know him. I'm not going to sit here and profess that I'm some, that I am where I want to be in my life. I am not. But it's an evolutionary process of the mind in your thinking. In unlearning most of the things that we were taught, you're gonna come to realize there's a deeper meaning to it all. And when you get to that level, then you're gonna see where value really is. And it's always like the Father said to me. He said, Nicole, every man is their own work. I'm like, really? Yeah, you are your own work. So you have to carve out the best version of yourself that you could imagine. You have to exercise imagination in this. Like, Father, just imagine what is the image of the ideal you that you'll want in this world. And he gave you 12 to start with. And he said, if you awaken them within yourself, my God, man, you'd be like his masterpiece. You'd be flowing like with faith and in love and full of not only God himself, but money to live and the wisdom to do things and the power to sustain it all and imagination to create new things with understanding and the willpower to control it and to sustain it. And the order and love, the law and order to get it organized, to flow, not only in you, but to others. Because it's a constant flow like a river, never-ending process of the Most High. And then you do that with the passion and love and all the things that you outgrow, you just eliminate and move right into life. The new birth, the new you. Yeah, God has a plan for us, and it's nothing like they teach you. Like, this type of information, this type of knowledge, this type of revelation really comes from the Father too. And he tells you that too. He says that it doesn't come by observation. You can observe it into being. So all of those who are looking, that's observation. It comes by a revelation. It's revealed knowledge. And what's so amazing, wisdom is not even as a philosophical minds interpret it. Wisdom is revealed truth. And it comes from the Father himself, who has personalized himself in all of us. We have our own personalized version of God in our being. That is the same in everyone. Read the Psalm if you don't believe me. The Psalm tells you that. It says the Father has put his mind in all, the same mind in all of us. Read it in the Psalms. So, God being mind, and I said I was going to make another video of this, but since we're talking, why not just tell you? God is mind, the mind. And it's the mind that is creative power and wisdom in us. And when you realize that you have the ability to create, and it's because of wisdom. She's really the one that gives us life, because she shows us how to do things, you know. And she said that she was with the Father from the beginning, and she was daily his delight, and he was daily his delight. Because there's a twist too, because wisdom said that she was with the Father from the beginning. We all were, because we are the Word of God. Come on, empower your strength, your love, your understanding, your faith, your imagination, illumination, life. We're Word. We are a Word of God. That's what we are, a Word of God. And I think life becomes a little lighter when you realize that. And then you want to attach those beautiful words that to yourself. Like for me, I know the Father didn't give me beauty like the world measures beauty, but to me, damn, he's pleased with me. So, you know what I mean? I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Yes. And that was a struggle for me, but I found peace with that. That I am who I am because of what I am. I'm a creation of the Most High God, and it doesn't get any better than that. I cannot be duplicated, replicated. They can take pictures of me, but I am life. Come on. I am life, and I am faith, because I believe in my Father who I cannot see. I felt his presence in many, 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 many times, in and out of me. So, in love, that's God himself. That's God himself in action. Because love is a verb, and love acts out itself. And that's how you know. You know? Love acts out itself. And love tells you. The spirit in you tells you who you are. You know, because if you know that your mind is God, and God is your mind, then you will realize that that same mind who is spirit, who is in God, and the qualities and attributes and functionality of God also is you, then you will want the best fruit of the fruit. And there's 9 of them. I can make another video about those 9, or I can tell you in this one. I'll tell you. Alright, so there's 9 fruit of the Spirit. Okay, that is known to the mind. Right? Because right now, the goal is the Christ mind. Is to feed our faith with the Word of God that builds this mind. Because the deeper we go into it, into spending time with our spirit, then our mind become like it, because now we're getting information from it, and so it's taken on the form of God. You know what I'm saying? But there's 9 fruits of the Spirit that when you recognize it within yourself, then you have to start thinking like, these are the things that I should be acting out of love. And if you notice, the first fruit is love itself. It's love itself, and it doesn't surprise me that the second become the first. It was faith, and faith is necessary because it gives you vision into our world, the invisible world where we're from. But faith needs work to be able for it to function. But with love, love encompasses everything. If you know who love is, there's nothing impossible to love. It covers all sins. It forgets it. It doesn't even remember your wrongdoings. That is love. That's the kind of love that the Father for us. He blocks out or so far the sins that we have committed against him, because they refuse to see nothing but love in us. And so the first spirit he said we need to recognize is love itself. That's the first spirit we got to see, that God loves us so much that he's not going to give up on us. He didn't. He came and got us. Okay? So we can die with some dignity. The second one is that when you find this love, you're full of joy. Joy is the next spirit. That's the next experience you should be experiencing when you find this. When you find that the mind is God himself in you. You know, the Son of Man is the mind of God, who is the Christ of God. Okay? And he said a third one is peace. So not only when you find love does joy and peace come. These are just the gifts that come into you, man. You're getting that peace in your head, like your thoughts are aligned with the Spirit. That is peace. When you know that you're on the side that is eternal and everlasting. Come on, what is death to the body when you realize that? And then it says that when you've anchored these three, it said then you'll be patient with everything, because you know that everything is unfolding into that oneness with the Father. So it doesn't really matter. Okay? It's going to unfold into God. So you're gonna, when you get into that mind of peace, then patient become it's just a natural thing for you. You become patient with everyone, because you know they're coming. Even though the world looks chaotic, and trust me, I've say a thing or two that I know I'm sure the Father not happy with, but sometimes I get outside of myself into the world where I don't belong and intervene and get myself in trouble. Okay? And after you've reached the level of patience, then you start acting really kind to others. And it's genuine, because the foundation is love. So you know the root, the intention, the motive, everything is pure. And so your kindness will be felt. They will know for sure that this person is really kind. And they will feel it, because it comes from the root, your root, which is God himself, which is love. Okay? And then he said, after you've get to the level of kindness, then it's going to be, this one is good, guys. This one is good. And guess what is goodness? You're going to start getting some goodness, some good things in your life. Some seriously good experiences, whatever that goodness is. But it's coming just by entering into the state of kindness. Then you start receiving good things. And you say, all things good come from the Lord, right? So you start receiving the goodies that we're chasing every day, 9 to 5, hunting down. That if we just give a moment and give some attention to this creator being who gave us life in the first place, then her lives will be a little better, you know? But anyways, let's not get into the world. Let's stay spiritual. It's better, believe me. And after goodness, now you start getting them goodies, you're gonna be faithful, because you know where the real stuff comes from. You know that all good things come from God. How beautiful is that? Oh my God, I wish the kingdom could come on earth and we get to experience these amazing states of consciousness. Wouldn't that be incredibly cool. But guess what? The Father said, right here, right now, in this world, you can. The kingdom is in you, as your thoughts and your feelings. Exercise these. It brings them into life. You know what I'm saying? You have to start thinking of it. All these beautiful imagery of what it is. Start thinking a bit. You're forming mental pictures, imagination at work. You know what I'm saying? Go with the flow, man. Go with the flow. The Father said, he who order his conversation aright, to that one will I show the salvation of the Lord. Yeah, gotta get this right. The second one, all right, so you have all of them, right? You have love and peace and joy and patience and kindness and goodness and faithfulness. You have faithfulness, guys. And it makes sense that, well, you know, faithfulness comes after the goodies. Because when you start getting that goodie and you realize that you don't have to stress anymore, then faith, real faith comes along. It's like, yeah, peace. You know, I'm like, damn. I can exhale now. Father, thank you so much. You know what I mean? Because you know the Father is the source of all the things that you need. And He provides it when you need it, right? So that's when you start getting the goodies, you become faithful. Faithfulness is next. And then with that faithfulness, you're going to be gentle. Because you know what? You're going to acknowledge that all the things around you belongs to God. They belong to Him. Why are you destroying it? Why are you unloving it? Why are you passing judgment of it? He created this thing to demonstrate His powers, His ability. They're His. And within the creation, He gave us the ability to create things as we see fit for ourselves in it. He gave man earth to use it. He said, imitate me like dear children. Come on, guys. Give us the freedom to create and illuminate this beautiful mind that is in us, you know? God loves us, man. And then, guys, this is the grand finale of it all. He gave us self-control. The ability to control oneself. Because you are your own country, you know. You know what I'm saying? And the Father said, when you harness all these gifts, these fruits, when you appropriate them, when you appropriate them in your mind as mental food, He said you will reach to that high level. Number 9, guys. Self-control. That's peace at its highest, man. That is peace. You're controlling yourself. You're giving yourself what is good. You're giving yourself love. You're giving yourself joy. You're giving yourself peace. You're giving yourself patience. You're giving yourself kindness and goodness and faithfulness and gentleness. And He said, I'm going to give you a crown. And He said, I'm going to let you control yourself. Exhale. I love this being in me. I don't want to work, but I have all these responsibility, you know? And I know that one day the Father shall give me a little financial breakthrough. I've tried a lot of different things, but like I'm learning these things and I'm sharing them with you. I am going to put them in action, and I have been, and I am achieving a lot. You know, I am organized, but not to the best way that I would want to. But with 6 children, definitely you have to be organized to not lose your mind. And I don't want to lose it. So, or I am using my centers. I am just seating them and working them, put them in their proper roles to bring out the best Nikki in the world, because there is only me, the same spirit, but talents are different. I have my own talents to give to the world, because the Father's creative power is in me and His wisdom, so I know to do things just like everyone He is blessed with Himself. So none of us can blame Him for anything. He has given us Himself equally. Yeah. I love Him. Yeah, sometimes it takes a little longer than I want to, but He's been good to me, even when I'm a jerk. It's the truth, though. I have my moments with my God, and I'm sure you have your stories, and honestly, I love to hear people telling me about Him. I'll just sit there and be amazed. Yeah, I've learned many beautiful stories about Him. When I meet someone, that is always what I eventually want to have a conversation on. Like, I don't care about anything else. Like, I just wish this world could just evolve into God ideals, you know? Because they're so beautiful, and it's not gonna happen, I guess. I don't know. But the Father said one of her prayers is to ask for it to come here while we're here, you know, so we can be at peace to create freely. And it's so funny, guys. God set up a system, you know. There's a system in place that covers everything. Like, as a matter of fact, even simplify it into two, I would say 2 life principles that covers everything else. Okay? He broke it down to 2, and we still can't even do that. Like, oh my gosh. We make Him look so shameful. We make Him look so like a handicap. Like, you have no idea. And He talks about it in His Word. You know? The very things that He tells us not to do, that's what we do. You know? But He's a really good God. If we really give Him a chance to really, if we really put Him to work, like is what He tells us to do. You know, I mean, a lot of country, if they could just start with the 10 commandments. He said, if is the God of a country, you will really see the blessing of the country. And nobody implements His laws. Like, they just kick Him out of everything. I don't get that, but whatever. Can't kick Him out of me. But that's the world. But the thing is, the Father gave us everything. You know, it's just greed and these other states of mind. It's that penetrate the good, you know, that we allow in our minds, that take root, and we're just reaping those things, you know. But I just think if we should just try and, for me, at least I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to do it in my world, because there's reward just from doing what is right. I mean, just peace alone is like a benefit of just trying. trying, just standing on God's side, because it makes sense to me. His ways make sense to me, and I try to be what I am, what I say, what He say I am. You know, I'm His child. He's in me. I'm capable of doing things that He does, and He has shown that to me. And quite honestly, I'm good with that. It's to love Him with all of our mind, our heart, her soul, and her strength, and love our neighbors as ourselves. We have to see that the same mind in me is also in the neighbors. That is just what He is. He said He put Himself equally in all of us. It's in His words. I'm not making them up. These aren't my words. I'm just telling you what I know, what I've learned. So, God is amazing. And I think I have my moments, but we all do. Because sometimes time seems to not move as fast as we'll like it to, but you have to trust. That's why He also tells you that you have to trust Him. Just trust Him like He designed it. That's all I trust, because He's the one that has the power to activate, create, form, shape, mold. He did all of that, and look at me, a product of His wisdom. I think I'm beautifully made. I can do so many things, you know. I think we should start adoring ourselves and start saying, damn, you know, Father, I'm not too bad looking. Let's find something about yourself that you enjoy and admire, and just see the masterpiece of the Creator. Even though it's temporal, but that's the suit you wear, the garment that you wear, that able you to participate in the Father's creation. So we have to give it thanks and just take care of it the best way I can. I use olive oil on my skin, and I also use coconut oil, and the lip gloss I use, my daughter makes it with all these natural oils. I like it. I like to stay simple. Yep. Thank you guys for coming to this high therapy with me. High therapy? It's supposed to be eye therapy, but it's also high therapy because it's higher knowledge. There's different ways that you can think, you know. If we are a thinker, and our thinking should be evolving. Yeah. Thinker. Yeah, we're a thinker. So guys, thank you. And I'm gonna say good night. The next time, what should I talk about? I think I want to talk about the disciples, the disciplines, okay? And which one? Oh, guys, no. Okay, I said I was gonna tell you who the mind is, which I already give you an idea in this video who the mind is, but I want to tell you who he is, and his seat of consciousness, like where he sits, his different roles that he plays within our minds, okay? And then sometimes, like, if you when I kind of explain it to you, I hope you get to see a little clearer, you know what I mean? Because some of these what I talk about is a higher kind. It's a metaphysical interpretation of of the scripture, like the inner meaning of it. But there is a mystical meaning too. So, and the mystical comes from the Spirit. Like, He reveals those truths to you. So the metaphysical kind of take you into the word world, kind of, like, because it makes the connection between mind and word, because they're one, you know. Mind and word, they're one. There's the Father and the Son in us, right? The mind and the word. And so with telling you of these centers or these words that you have to incorporate within your mind, you know, as children of the Most High, to give you that full effect, that recognize you in your first state, which is the faith state, that you are Christ, the Son of God. It's necessary to know them on that level. You have to know them on that level, their word and what they mean, because then you can relate them to your mind. And word and mind are one. Those are the two gifts that the Father's given us anyway. It's mind and speech. And when we transcend the body, when we leave the body, then it's going to be your guide. I've read that somewhere. I want to give the proper quote to that person. I think it's William Blake. William Blake. I don't remember, but one of the evolved minds, I would say awakened mind, got that revelation that he shared with us, which, you know, when you really appropriate it, you can see the true and the beauty in it as well. And there's so much I want to tell you guys that I've learned. But so I want to tell you about the mind, who he is, what he is, his office of function. And then you can see why your mind is so powerful. You got a powerful mind. Okay? A powerful mind. And when I tell you the seats of the mind, then you will see. I mean, I'm gonna use terms that we read like where you guys read that we all are exposed to. Like, you know, they try. See, we all looking for the Father in different ways, you know, because Father's in everything. But I'm gonna use terms that we all can relate to. For example, let me just tell you quickly. I'll just make this an hour-long video and just tell you like an overview of what we're gonna go into and try and solve this thing, this disconnect. Okay? We're solving a disconnect. We're making the connection. Let's make the connection with our creative, with our creative God. Okay? We're making the connection back to him. All right, because for me, I'm speaking for myself. I'm sharing what I know with you. I just want that as a disclaimer. I'm just sharing what I have learned, research, and what has been revealed to me from my inner spirit. But I want to tell you that the mind is very important to you. It's the most important being in you. Okay? And I'm going to tell you this The mind has three seats in how it functions. I'm going to use term such like the superconscious. I'm sure many of you have heard of that. And then you have the subconscious, and you have the mind, the conscious mind, which the world operates from. Because the conscious mind is about the it gets its information from the world, the five senses. So because it gets the information from the outer world, the world around in which it sees, hears, and touch and feel, then the evidence of that information, we see what it does. It make us stressful, fearful, bring disease, all sort of things to us that we don't want. But because we live on that level of ourselves, the conscious reality that we seek through our five senses. So, but the subconscious mind is a more powerful mind, because it can take impressions from your outer world experience that you repetitively, make an impression in your mind with, and give you a reality. Yes. So when you realize that that's how powerful that thing is, then you start becoming a thinker now. You start thinking, start watching your thoughts and how you're thinking. You see what I'm saying? So once you start doing that, you start watching your thoughts now, then you can have reoccurring thoughts that will make that impression. And when the subconscious, because I said the subconscious make imprints, so the repetition of the same thought that is good or bad is gonna bring into your world. Yeah, it's a very powerful mind in you, and it's the mind that the Father wants us to be conscious of because of what it can do. And that mind doesn't, it does good and evil. I hate to say it, but yeah, it gives you what you continuously impress in your mind as a reality. So, and let me tell you too this, because a lot of people probably thinking, oh yeah, a lot of things I think about, I know I probably won't get an experience of it, but you don't know which one made an impression in the subconscious mind. That's one thing. But the Father said, it doesn't get you up to the 4th generation. Someone has to pay for that. Okay? Yeah. So you got to think about your grandchildren, your great grandchildren, and stuff like that, because it's like it has to give it to you, because you made the it's like you put an impression into something, like you make an imprint, and the imprint is the form already. It's done. So you best believe that reality is coming. So they advance to meet you. Believe you me. I'm not saying these things to scare you guys. I am worried about myself as well. But thank God for forgiveness, because Jesus Christ, I need that so bad. But yep. And then you have the superconscious mind, and that's the mind where all things dwell. Yeah. That's the Father. Yep. That's the Father in us. Is the superconscious mind, is the spirit mind that created us, loves us, redeems us, and says that there's nothing in the heaven, on the earth, or under the earth, or in the ocean, and no matter what you can think of that can separate his love from us. Exhale on that one. Yeah. Awesome stuff. I'm telling you. This God is amazing. Yep. Sure is. But guys, I have so much to tell you. So much to tell you and share about this beautiful God of ours. He's our God who loves to create things. Yes. Who has the power to give life, take it, and give it again. Because the life of us is God himself. God can't destroy himself. He's self-existent. So he gives us his life. And you know life, his God himself cannot die. So, but you have to recognize this eternal life in you, who is the Father. You're mine. You know? And it appropriates words and their meaning. So, when I already told you about the 12 words, okay, that you need to activate in your mind to give you this blown, grown up, mature mind called the Christ mind. Exhale on that one. Yeah. Yep. So, and the Christ mind is the right mind. And you will see the fruits of the Spirit. I already told you what they are. There's 9 of them. And then you get to meet the spirits. You're familiar with some of them though, but you didn't know they were spirits. Hey, he tells you that. So you're not paying attention. He said, my words are spirits. They're not physical entities. They're in them, as them, but they're not. So, you want to know them? Let me tell you them really quick. Jesus, I'm giving you everything in this video, but there's so much more to tell you. There's 7 that sits at the feet of the master mind. The Lord is the mind of man, okay? And the mind of God. So he's God himself, and he's also our God that makes us a God. So don't be afraid to call yourself a God, because if God, the Creator, is your Father, then why are you ashamed of? I am a God. I'm a proud one too. But anyways, the 7 spirit that sits around the seats of my Father, our Father, the Lord, the mind, right? These are 7 spirits, guys. I don't know. I'm not gonna try and put them in order, but I have attempt to do it based on the knowledge of the book of the Bible, the Word. But the first one is the spirit of knowledge. Yeah, I didn't know that spirit is a knowledge. Huh? Knowledge is a spirit. It's the first one. You know, it's important to get knowledge, information, you know, and the one that interests you, get understanding. So, anyways, the first one is knowledge. The second one is understanding. That's I'm telling you, that you have to get understanding in what you know. Get the understanding. It will make sense. And then you'll be able to do the right thing, which is wisdom, and they call her supreme. But this 7 spirit that I'm telling you about that sits around, that God himself is those spirits that serves him in us, around us, in his creation process and everything. These are the spirits that he uses knowledge and understanding. But he said that there is a spirit called the fear of God. There's a spirit. Let me tell you, I grew up in Jamaica and I've experienced hurricane, horrible ones, seen, some serious, destruction. And even when I come to America, it's the same thing. But there was just one particular hurricane that came through and I caught my fear for the first time. It's like I saw the wrath and the anger of our Father, and it really frightens me. Yeah. So he gives us the spirit of fear, and he is the spirit of fear himself. For me, that fear came just by, I was a feeling though, like I felt the fear of him, like, oh my gosh, for the first time I was seriously afraid. But so Solomon says that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So what I did, I said, okay, the first spirit is knowledge, and the second one is understanding, and the third one is the fear of God. And then wisdom comes. Okay. Well, so you have the spirit of the spirit of knowledge. You have the spirit of understanding. You have the spirit of the fear of the Lord. You have the spirit of wisdom, right? God's of wisdom, good judgment. And then you have the spirit of counsel. So there's a spirit of counsel, and then you have the spirit of counsel. Okay, how many did I say? Okay, the first one is the spirit of knowledge, spirit of understanding, spirit of the fear of the Lord, spirit of wisdom, spirit of counsel. There is one more. I know there's the spirit of power. Oh, the spirit of might, and the spirit of, oh my gosh, guys, I skipped the most important thing, the most important being of it all. The spirit is the spirit of the Lord himself. Oh my God, how can I forget that? The first spirit is the spirit of the Lord, self-existent, right? That's what the idea comes about. That's how we know he's self-existent. This self-existent spirit is also the spirit of knowledge, okay? Of knowledge, the spirit of understanding, the spirit of the fear of the Lord, the spirit of wisdom, the spirit of counsel, the spirit of might and power. Yes. That is the seventh spirit of the Lord, which is our mind. The Lord is our mind. So, the Father just told me they're going to ask about the heart. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, listen. I'm going to tell you what the heart is. Okay? I'm going to tell you what the heart is. Jesus kind of gave us an idea. Oh, I just love that man so much. He said that the heart is where the issues of life come forth. Like, the heart is exercise evil and good. Malice, all prejudice, all these things come out of the heart. So the heart has to be the subconscious mind, where good and evil comes from. Because like I said before, that it doesn't matter what impression you give it, good or bad, it gonna gives you the reality of it. So is a repetition of the thoughts that you have reoccurring over and over again that's producing the life experiences that you have. And the subconscious mind does that. That's his job. So within the heart, those is where those things are stored, and you speak out of them because they become so repetitious that it becomes your vocabulary, your way of life. That's something you see that you start saying and acting. Yeah, that is the subconscious mind, guys. It is a mind, like I said, it's 3 in 1. Okay, here's another way that you can look at it. Okay, another way that you can look at it. Another way you can look at it is the mind. You have an idea, and you express that idea. Okay, you have an idea for dinner. Okay, you know exactly what it is you're going to make. Okay, you already see what it's gonna look on the plate. You know how you're gonna put it on the plate and stuff. Okay, in the mind, you have an idea of dinner. Not only did you have an idea, you were able to give the idea shape, form, sight, vision, every single thing. You were able to exercise your 5 senses within that idea and how to shape it and what it will look like. Practically, if you can taste it too, you know, right? So you give it form and everything, right? Yeah, that's the mind. And that actual faculty right there that's in play is imagination. And that's the reason why he was given the crown, because of his ability to give it shape, life, and form. Like, he gives light to it. It makes you see what will be before it comes into the world. You see what I'm saying? So imagination is a very powerful tool to exercise. I don't even know why I call it a tool, but it's a being to really discipline within yourself. It's a spirit being. It's a word. And the Father said the words are spirit. So it's a really good spirit to discipline, because it can bring you so much joy in your life. You know, because you're able to see your own unseen reality become reality. You know, and they describe that as faith. You know, because that's essentially what you're doing. You have the idea for dinner. I don't know what the hell it looks like. I mean, you can attempt to describe it, but that description comes after you've already created it in your mind with the faculty of the imagination. So the imagination gives it forms and everything. And it doesn't matter, that's what I'm saying, it doesn't matter if that impression that you've given it, that listen to this too, guys. This is serious. This is how powerful imagination is. Just imagine that your something that you're thinking on repetitively is making an impression, and the imagination is able to give that impression form. You know, and you can even see it before, because when we think in pictures, like, you're visualizing, and that's the imprint that's happening, because you're giving it image, you know, you're giving it form. So just imagine if you give it a solid form, you best believe it's coming. You just don't know how powerful we are. Like, we are really powerful. We are super powerful beings. And the only way you can seriously experience the power of this being inside of you is love. Once you get in that spirit, that's the beginning right there. Because love covers everything, forgives everything, doesn't boast, doesn't show off. None of that. It's chill, it's kind. You start experiencing all the other fruits. You get to enjoy them in your life. And that should be, and that is everyone deeper desire. Whether they acting like all these fools in this world, doing all these crazy stuff, please, let me tell you, their innermost desire is the love of God in them. Believe you me. Yeah, I said it. Father said, don't worry about who can kill your body, but that soul of yours, only God alone can destroy that. That's what you need to be afraid of, because guess what? Death comes to all of us here. So if they take me early, they just have to deal with the consequences of that. But I'm gonna die one day. That's just reality. But the soul, the Father said, that's what you need to worry about, because He alone can do that. And you know what the soul is, right? I'm gonna tell you guys. The soul is your mind, your will, and your emotion. Your mind, your will, your emotions. That's what the soul is. Mind, will, and emotion. See? She's also a Trinity. Within herself, she served 3 different seats, just like the Father. And I know you're gonna say, "Oh my God, why is she calling the soul a her?" But it is. It's the female. Male and female. The soul. They call her Mary in the Bible. And to the Christ child, everyone shall bring forth. So you are Mary too. Yes. So with that being said, let me tell you, the will. I think if we really control our will, or just submit to the will of the will itself, because there's a will, and the will is to do the works of the Father, and the works of the Father is to believe in the Son, and the Son is the creative power and the wisdom of God. Yeah, that's your duty, our duty. So you have to believe in the mind and its abilities. You have to call forth the discipline, the undisciplined minds, and discipline them. That's your work. And because within you, which is your mind, is the kingdom, and the kingdom is your thoughts and your feelings, and your thoughts must be in alignment with the Father, because He said, who is against Him? Yep, His word is not in them. So there's a lot, guys. There's a lot to know, and I just want to say this, that there's nothing can separate you from the love of God. And no matter what you do, He loves you, and you cannot destroy Himself anyway. So, and He has done all it takes to take care of that issue that very thing that we've lost in the beginning, which was seriously a connection with him. That's what, that he removed himself. And so when we're born, we don't know anything. Everything has to be spoon-fed. Not only the spoon-fed on a physical level, but we have to be taught how to do everything. So we've lost that kingdom, and it was given back. So how is your kingdom? I'm working on mine. Great answer, great answer. Let's hear that. Let's say you say that. How is your kingdom? All right, guys, this is where I say good night.